Hello again. It's Cindy and Lewis Walcott. Welcome to Brighten Your Corner Ministry, and we are continuing with lessons from the Bible. We are at this point studying lessons from Genesis chapter 3, and now we're up to lesson number 9, and this one is big. It's the temptation. Genesis chapter 3, verses 6 and 7. Um, the lesson here for me, this is, I probably should read it. It probably, but you better understand what I'm about to say. So I'm reading Genesis chapter 3, verses, I'll start from 5. Where the serpent spoke to the woman, and then she went ahead and committed an act. Um, for God, this is the serpent speaking. For God, for God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat. There are many trees around us. I think this too has something to do with lifestyle and the choices we make. Already she's talked too much. She's listened to the wrong directive, and now she's going ahead without thinking. No, I don't know if at any time she questioned even who this person is. And before we make decisions, we should make sure we have all these questions answered. Who is giving us this directive? To what purpose? No matter how good a thing look, I had friends who went ahead and tried marijuana when we were growing up, and some people did it and said they did well in the exams and so on, and probably consider themselves successful. And even if we know that taking this drug had the ability to affect people's lives forever, some people still went ahead and took the chance. They went ahead and took the risk, what I would call for temporary pleasure. So this, for temporary pleasure, she looked at the tree, it looks good. She decided to taste it, and it tasted good, and she ate, despite from the top, from the authorities, she was told not to do it. And I find this is the same thing with my friends who smoked marijuana and are now mentally unwell, unstable, um, just walking delinquents. Like, they have no sense of who they are even anymore. And I find this is a situation here, in that because you have to consider the long-term effect of your action. This was a temporary pleasure that ended up ruining the rest of her life. So I find these lessons so far: know who you're taking your directives from, think before you act, and think of not just why am I doing it, but what are the consequences that's going to arise from my action today. And I think this woman did not consider those options. And as we know, it is temptation. So it probably, you know how temptation comes. I read on a church post one day, and I thought that was such an appropriate sentence. It says, opportunity knocks, but temptation bangs. Temptation, it has the ability to overwhelm us. And at one point or another, we are all susceptible to fall, and through God's grace, we ask that we don't. We ask that we use the capacity He gave us to think, to reason, and to make the right decisions. So the lesson I've learned here, I'd say many, but the key lesson here is to consider the consequences of the actions you're about to take.